Welcome to another statistical analysis video using R programming. And in this video, we would like to look at the following: how to extract the day, the month, and the year from a date field, right? So we will look at that using a particular data set. And let's look at Art Studio. So in this example, we make use of the index data. So the index data is simply the stock exchange data over many years, okay? And it contains entries of stock exchange indexes from countries all over the world. There's about 100,000 records in there. But for our purpose, we only want to make use of 5 of these, or rather 10 of these observations, okay? 20, sorry. So the latest index, which is 20 of them, and we will look at that there, right? So what we want to do is we want to extract the day, the month, and year from that date field, which is part of that. So our interest is this date field here, okay? So we have loaded the tidyverse package over there already, okay? So hopefully that is loaded already. And then we want to use this. So there's several ways of doing. Let's look at using a vector, which is not really serving our purpose, but it's just to illustrate that we can extract a field from a data set and store that into a vector. So that is how that looks like. Okay. So we can also extract it into a data frame, and that's how that's going to look like. Okay. So the difference between the vector and the data frame is illustrated over here. Okay. So how do we then grab this date into a data set, or even to its own data set? Okay, we will look at how to mutate that as well. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to call this new date. And we will look at, okay, still making use of a data frame. Okay, and that would be, okay, so first, the first field that we want to include in our data frame is the date. Okay, I'll call this IND date. Okay, and then the second field is going to be built using this format function. Okay, all right. So we're going to add several fields there. Okay, so for this purpose, we will use the day, the year, and so forth. Okay, so it will be the year. Okay, and that here is made up of, rather, it's going to be as dot numeric. Okay, and that numeric will also contain a format function. Okay, and let's look at our code over here. So it's numeric format. So the inside the format, we need to include a field, which is the similar one that we've got here. Okay, so that field over there, comma format, and that format is equal to the year. Okay, so it's a capital. Okay, right. Okay, so let's execute that statement for now and see what happens. Okay, so now we've got new date. Okay, and if we then echo new date, it will produce. Okay, so we've got two fields here. We've got the date, okay, which basically contains its entire date, but we can change that and just make sure that it has a different name, and then it's got the year over there. Okay, that here, right? So let's build our statement further. Okay, so over here we will say date is equal to, okay, just that date, that entire date, And then we've got this over here. Okay. Okay. So we need to build, so that's includes there, comma, okay, as dot, so it's the year, the month is equal to as dot numeric, numeric format. And then we've got our latest index and the date, and that is comma format is equal to the month. Okay, let's just make sure that that's correct. Yes, that's correct. And then that is completed until there. Okay, comma day is equal to as dot numeric open bracket format, open bracket latest index $ date, comma format is equal to ampersand day. Okay, and that should conclude that statement over there. All right, so we're going to both execute that entire statement. Right. And now if we echo our new day, new date, now we've got, okay, so we've got the day, the year, the date, okay, which is the entire date, the year, the month, and the day, okay. So that's how we then extract the date in its various components, which is the month, the day, and the year, and we make use of as numeric format function over there, and that format function takes two parameters, which is the current field that you want to format and how you want to format that. Okay, so that's simply just extract from that date the format or the day. Okay, so if the date is in a particular format, it recognizes the day, the month, and the year from that as it's stored that. Okay. All right. Now, how do we then put that into a data frame? Okay, so let's say we have this latest data set, which looks like this over here. Okay, so we want to also put the date in there. Okay, so we can make use of the mutate function. So we're going to copy all of that over there. Okay. And let's just make sure this is how we want to do that. Okay. Okay. We use the mutate function, and we will not use the data frame because that is already in the data frame. So we will then say, okay, so we're going to use latest index, which is the one that we're writing it to. And then we will simply use the mutate function with that same function, the data set there, and use all of these parameters, okay, separated by the commas over there. Okay, so let's see how that works. Okay, so mutate, and that would be our data, source data, and that would be as, so it's first the day. Let's start with the day is equal to as dot numeric format, and then latest index date. Okay. Date. the format, comma, format is equal to, so remember it's first the day, and then comma, and so we'll go to the next line over there. So it's then the month is equal to as dot numeric, open bracket format, latest index, date format, comma format is equal to month, okay, and then comma. So then we just copy the last bit over here, which is the year, okay. So we're just going to copy that and put that there, okay. Right. And that should conclude the entire statement, which is that. Last one. Okay. So let's see how that's going to work. So we're going to execute that statement. Okay. Right. And now, if we open up our latest data, we see that we have 11 variables, okay, 11 columns, okay, and if we extract that, we will see that right at the end here, we have day, month, and year, okay, which is extracted from our initial date over there. Right. So that there is how we extract the date in its various components, year, month, and day, and then write it back to our current table over there. Okay. All right. I trust this was helpful. So thank you very much. Please join me for another session on RStudio. Thank you very much.